Hello. When doing plugin development for MCollective, be they agents, security plugins, or fact sources, or anything like this, you need a way to test this. Now, it would be very cumbersome if you actually require to have, say, 10 virtual machines and a shared middleware and all this kind of stuff just to, on your development environment, just to test this stuff. Towards that end, I wrote a thing called a collective builder. It's a simple rake-based system that assists in running an entire collective on one machine, on your dev machine. This is a simple virtual machine. It's just a Zen machine, one core, half gig of RAM, small setup. So I've installed the RubyGem Stomp server, and running the Stomp server task will set up a localhost port 6163 Stomp server for me. If we go over to a different screen here, we can say recreate. Each collective has a unique name. If you were developing against your shared active MQ, for instance, you can just pick different names here, and they will all run separately. Here you give it the host name, localhost. With the Stomp server, username, password doesn't matter. Now, if you're busy developing maybe against GitHub on a fork, you could give your own GitHub URL over here, or it could even be a local repository, using the file URL structure. Anywhere where there's a Git repository. If you're busy developing on a feature branch, you would provide the feature branch here. We're just going to use master. And if I, for instance, were to give a tag name here like 0.4.10, it will check out version 0.4.10 for me. We're going to stick to master. I want 10 collective members started, and I'm going to start at 0. Now I was cloning the Puppet Labs Git repository and configuring my 10 instances, creating configs, all this kind of stuff, and when it's done it shows you a quick summary. Now you could save this command and just run that, and it will recreate the collective for you without asking any questions. It will just do it without unassisted. And yeah, you can see they're all running. If we go to our middleware, there's been no traffic here yet. So let's start them up and then immediately switch over to the middleware. And you can see they're connecting, they're sending registration information, and they're up and running. Now, as they're running there, you'd want to set up a client to communicate with them. If you're busy testing against the current master, this is very easy. In older versions is a bit harder. You need to do some manual stuff there. To set up a shell that uses the new MCollective extra options variable and rubylib to tell my client to find the, I can show you. Basically, it tells it where to find this config file, for instance, in this full path to my config. And as this is a subshell, your shell might be clobbering the path, so we're just going to do that. Now, if I do MC ping, instead of my production MCollective cluster, I'm getting the one running on my desktop. You can see there's some traffic going over here, and it's a full-on collective. You can do the inventory of the machine. You'll see there's a couple of agents already. There's some Puppet classes, or not really Puppet classes, but there's some facts. Now, this facts and these classes comes from a template directory where there are just a bunch of YAML files, and when creating the collective, it will pick them randomly. So there's a cluster variable here. Let's have a look at empty facts cluster. Whoops. Cluster. And it's evenly balanced 5-5. Now if we edit one of these and we change this one to C, we're still running the old setup, and this would be the process. Like, even if you're changing plugins, there's a plugins directory. You would edit your source of plugin, your source of facts, and your source of classes in the plugins or the templates directory, and then you just do rake update, and it will copy out new templates, new classes, etc. And now if we do our facts, you should see it's B and C instead of B and A. So if you were developing an agent or any kind of plugin, you would just develop it in the plugin/agent directory, put your stuff there, do a rake update, and that will update the running collective with your new code when you're ready to test again. And yeah, this is a full MCollective. You can do all the kind of usual stuff, and it's all of the commands are available to you that comes out of the box. Everything's there. You can set up other commands into the client directory if you wanted to test with your agents MCutils. That's your standard thing. Under logs, you'll see the full log for your client, all debug, and every server's debug log is there as well. So it's very handy for just doing some testing. And of course, you can see the raw stomp traffic as it travels over the network over here. Okay, so when you're done, you just stop it all, kill off the stomp server, and rake clean, and everything's gone, leaving just your local plugins and template changes, but ready again to deploy a new collective for your next set of development. Okay, thank you.